Today, jury selection begins in a critical phase of the trial of Andrea Yates, accused of drowning her 5 children. But how will she be able to save her own life? Plus, superstar Michael Jordan in the news. The strongest words yet from Jordan, that he will be back. Good morning, America. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer, and it's Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. Michael may be back. He's saying that tendinitis is the main thing he's thinking about as he makes his final decision. So is 38 too old? Too late?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
But, and he also would come back to a team that's not very good. But none of the regular rules apply to Michael Jordan. I mean, he is the single best person to ever play the game. If Michael wants to play the game, Michael can play the game and will do it very well. It would be terrific to see him back in basketball, and we're going to find out in the next 10 days for certain, although he certainly has given strong indication that he's going to come back. Anyway, we'll have that story in a few moments. Also, the other story I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, there has certainly been great debate over whether Andrea Yates is competent to stand trial. 12 jurors are now going to have the power to spare her a trial or send her to court in what we know is a death penalty case. We now know of 1,000 new pages documenting her mental health history over the years, suicide attempts with pills and scratching a steak knife at her throat. It's a dramatic and complex case, the Andrea Yates case, and this morning we're going to examine it with a prominent jury expert, Joellen Demetrius, who you might remember from the O.J. Simpson case.
And so a woman gets a magazine in the mail, and it has articles in it about a dietary supplement promising to reverse aging, prevent cancer, restore sexual power. But it's not just any woman. Her husband turns out to be Senator John Breaux, chairman of the Senate Aging Committee, and he called for an investigation, hauled everybody in yesterday, and Senator Breaux will be with us this morning to tell us what he found.
And the guy who made all those claims took the fifth in front of the committee. We'll find out why. Also ahead this morning, we'll have a consumer alert on a dishwasher that catches on fire. Sarah, the Duchess of York, is going to be here a little bit later. And this is Fashion Week in New York. There's all these fashion shows going on around in New York. Also sitting next to me, there's a living fashion show. But anyway, Lara Spencer is behind the scenes of one of the fashion shows that's going to start at 9 o'clock this morning. She's going to show you all those models running around, getting ready, hopefully properly dressed for morning television, but we'll find out. But first, the news headlines. Let's go to Washington, where Claire Shipman is in for Antonio Moore.
Good morning, Charlie and Diane. Well, we begin with what is probably the worst-kept secret in sports. Talking to reporters yesterday, Michael Jordan all but confirmed months of speculation he'll rejoin the NBA as a player with the Washington Wizards this season. But clearly trying to keep everyone guessing, Jordan told the Washington Post, quote, "I didn't say that. I have not said that." Fans are, needless to say, ecstatic over the possibility of seeing their hero play again.
I think he'll still be the best player in the league, no question about it.
When he's out there, it may go from worst to worst.
Anytime that he's going to play, it's going to be great. And it's just pure talent. And I don't think that talent just fades.
Jordan will announce his final decision next week. Americans are increasingly concerned about the economy, and the White House is under increasing pressure from Republicans and Democrats to do something about it. According to a new ABC News Washington Post poll, a majority of Americans believe the economy is heading into a recession, and 57% of those surveyed would reduce the president's tax cut to protect the government's surplus. Moments ago, I asked Commerce Secretary Don Evans what the administration is doing about the faltering economy. In a new ABC News Washington Post poll, more than half of the people we talked to, 53% in fact, say the country is heading into a recession. What can the White House do about that?
Well, the president has shown leadership on this issue from the first day he took office, Claire. He started talking about the economy he talked about it throughout the campaign. He talked about a tax cut throughout the course of the campaign. The first day he took office, he talked about a tax cut, and now we've passed a tax cut. He talked about a comprehensive national energy plan that Congress needs to pass. We have a comprehensive national energy plan. We can bring energy prices down. That will help stimulate economic growth and create more jobs.
There are a lot of Republicans on Capitol Hill grumbling that the White House hasn't moved fast enough to try to curb the economic downfall.
Well, I'm not hearing that, Claire. I mean, I don't know. He moved as fast as he possibly could. From the first day in office, he was talking about tax cuts. And the tax cuts did get passed late in the spring. Those checks, the rebate checks, are going out now. The first day in office, he talked about a national energy plan. He's presented it to Congress. He's waiting on Congress to pass that. He's been talking about trade for the last 6 or 7 months. He's waiting on Congress to present to him trade promotion authority so he can open up markets for American workers and American businesses all around the world.
Meanwhile, President Bush is in Florida for a second day, trying to keep some of the focus on his education package. Congressman Gary Condit is off a legal hook. A California grand jury has rejected an obstruction of justice complaint against him. The complaint was filed by Anne Marie Smith, who claims Condit asked her to lie about an affair. The grand jury says it doesn't have jurisdiction. Elizabeth Dole plans to announce today that she will run for the Senate seat being vacated by Jesse Helms. The former Red Cross president, cabinet member, and presidential candidate recently changed her voter registration to her native North Carolina, where she hasn't lived for decades. And new fuel for the debate over stem cell research. The National Academy of Sciences has concluded that in order to fulfill the potential of stem cell research, those researchers will need more embryonic stem cell lines than President Bush has cleared for funding. Finally, beauty and brains. The next Miss America will have to have both. Knowledge of current events is part of the contest this year, but the contestants may need to hit the books. A reporter quizzed 10 of the women. 4 of them didn't know that December 7th, 1941 is the date Pearl Harbor was bombed, and 2 couldn't name the current vice president. But all of them, when quizzed, could name Tony Perkins and his role here at GMA. So let's go to the weather and hear from Tony this morning.
I'm sure that's true. Thank you, Claire. I'll take that as a compliment. All right. I want to show you a couple of things going on. Hurricane Erin. Now, take a look. If you woke up this morning, you looked at this, you lived in Boston, you'd think, we're in trouble. We don't think so. Hurricane Erin is located only about 400 miles southeast of Boston, but it is beginning to move north. It has decreased in intensity. Take a look. The cold front that moved through that brought thunderstorms to the northeast yesterday, that's pushing off the coast. That's going to help to push it further to the north and east, and we do think it will continue to decrease in intensity. Here are the stats on this storm at this point. Yesterday, it was a Category 3 hurricane. Now it's got 90-mile-per-hour maximum sustained winds, Category 1. No direct threat to land. We will see increased swells along the eastern coast, rough surf and swells from South Carolina to Maine, particularly, I think, from Long Island northward. That's a look at what's happening with the weather around the nation. Now, here's what's happening in your neighborhood.
Good morning. Under mostly clear skies, some cool temperature readings. 64 in Washington, 55 to the west at Dulles, but much less humid this morning on the backside of a cold front that rumbled through with some strong storms yesterday. But today will reap its benefits. Mostly sunny from lunch onward. 81 will be the afternoon high temperature. And take a look at this ABC 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 79. We will see a slight shower or thunder shower Thursday afternoon, but behind that, cooler temperatures still with highs only in the low to mid 70s.
And there you go. That's your first look at the weather. It is 8 after the hour now. Diane?
All right, Tony, our thanks to you. New information is emerging from the medical files of Andrea Yates, the Texas woman accused of drowning her 5 young children last June. Few will argue it illustrates a downward spiral of mental illness. For example, years earlier, the young mother told psychiatrists she was overwhelmed by visions and voices of a stabbing, worried she'd hurt someone. Her husband grabbed a steak knife. She held at her own throat in search of her main artery, and there were other suicide attempts. At one point, she was reportedly so ill that she was mute. But does all this mean that she is not now competent to stand trial? ABC's Mike Von Fremd is in Houston.
Andrea Yates has responded so well to medication and treatment during her 12 weeks in prison that even her relatives say they fully expect her to be declared competent to stand trial. After Yates confessed to drowning each of her 5 children, she reportedly went into a zombie-like state in prison. More than 1,000 pages of medical records have now been released, many foreshadowing the tragic events. 2 months before the murders, her psychiatrist wrote that her family found the patient with the bathtub filled with water. Her husband, Russell, believed at the time that his wife intended to drown herself. The documents paint a picture of an overstressed mother trying to raise and homeschool many children in this converted Greyhound bus that the family lived in before buying their Houston home. She said her husband, Russell, allowed her just 2 hours a week of personal time. One psychiatrist also warned, apparently patient and husband plan to have as many babies as nature will allow. This will surely guarantee future psychosis and depression. Now that prosecutors have elected to seek the death penalty, the Houston chapter of the National Organization for Women is asking people to donate money to a defense fund.
She's a very sick woman that needs help. So let's give it to her and not exterminate her.
The jury will listen to medical experts. If Yates is to be declared incompetent, all 12 jurors will have to reach a unanimous decision. Mike Von Frimm, ABC News, Dallas.
So, as jury selection begins today in her competency trial, the legal case will boil down to this. Andrea Yates' lawyers will have to prove that she didn't know it was wrong to kill her children, and as we said, the decision will rest in the hands of 12 jurors. So, joining us now, one of the top jury consultants in the country. She's helped select more than 400 juries, including the one that acquitted O.J. Simpson. From Los Angeles, Joellen Demetrius, and it's so good to have you with us, Joellen.
Good morning, Diane. Thank you.
All right, you are defending Andrea Yates, let us say. What kind of jurors do you want impaneled? Who will be more sympathetic toward her? Men, women, those with parents, those without children?
Well, I think, first of all, I would certainly be looking for women who they themselves had gone through a period after children were born where perhaps they went through some sort of postpartum depression. Either that or even men whose wives or significant others had gone through that, because I think anyone that's had that kind of experience will understand, I think, to some degree what she may be going through and understand sort of the physiological reactions that happen as a result of a tremendous depression. I think one of the other things that I would also look at in the courtroom is just seeing the jurors come in and coming between sitting in the back and going up into the jury box. Oftentimes they have to walk right by the defendant, and what I would be looking for is their body language as they either make a wide sweep around her or if they come closer to her, because traditionally people that don't feel that kind of horrendous negative reaction will walk closer to a defendant than those who feel that that this is just the worst thing that they've ever heard of, who will make a wide sweeping path around her.
So it's key to see that first reaction to her in the courtroom.
Oh, most definitely. You know, traditionally the judge will read the charges, and certainly what I've done in the courtroom is to watch the jurors' faces, watch how they either look at her and carefully examine her. Sometimes you'll even hear gasps. Certainly this has been something that's been in the press, so I don't think that you will have the kind of reaction perhaps as a group that wouldn't know what the situation is, but you can very clearly see that, particularly in crimes that involve children.
The average person reading all of this, and we just gave the report, hearing that she heard voices, suicide attempts, all of the things that she had when she was off her medication, would say, what is the question here? How can you find jurors who won't consider that mental illness?
Well, I think that the problem lies wherein you're talking about an insanity defense per se, and certainly all the research that I have done in this regard shows that people just don't view someone as being insane unless literally that person is foaming at the mouth and in some sort of chains. For whatever reason, people believe that that's the only way that someone can be conditioned as insane. So what the true arduous task here for the defense is to find people who are so open to hearing about psychiatric testimony that they're not going to foreclose hearing that kind of information, because there are a lot of people out there that believe that the mental health realm per se is sort of this distant, nebulous kind of concept, and that's where the task for the defense will be to find those people who do believe in mental health professionals and what they bring to the table.
All right, our thanks to Joellen Demetrius. Glad to have you with us, and thanks for getting up so early out there.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's now 14 minutes past, Charlie.
Then we turn to dietary supplements. Can they help cure dreaded diseases, or are some of them snake oil? That's what Senator John Breaux is set to find out at yesterday's Capitol Hill hearings. Dietary supplements are a $30 billion business in this country. Yesterday, one company's executive blew the whistle on some fake claims while another refused to answer questions. ABC's Linda Douglas has more on what was a dramatic Capitol Hill confrontation.
Glenn Braswell was hauled up to Capitol Hill to explain the astonishing health claims made by his Gerovita dietary supplement empire. His mail-order magazine, the Journal of Longevity, offers products that promise to reverse aging, restore sexual power, improve memory, prevent cancer. Unfortunately for Braswell, one of his magazines was sent to Lois Breaux, the wife of Senator Breaux, chairman of the Aging Committee.
I said, my goodness, this cures everything, and it'll make you young forever. I mean, it's like the key to the fountain of youth.
In other words, too good to be true. Breaux launched an investigation, but when he tried to ask Braswell under oath about his business, Braswell took the Fifth Amendment.
Do you really use any of these products that are advertised in that Journal of Longevity yourself?
On advice of counsel, I assert the privilege.
In 1983, Braswell served prison time for falsifying photos to promote a so-called cure for baldness. In January, he was pardoned by President Clinton. By then, he was already the target of a new investigation for alleged money laundering. One of his former employees testified that Braswell's multi-million-dollar alternative medicine business is a sham aimed at gullible seniors.
One product claims to improve memory, sex drive, and reduce the chance of heart attacks by 83%. The product could not possibly deliver what's promised in the advertising.
The supplement business is a $27 billion a year industry, largely unregulated. Government investigators testified some products are useless or dangerous, especially for seniors. The senators did not call for more government regulation of the herbal supplement business, but they did remind the aging baby boom generation that there is no magic cure for getting old. Linda Douglas, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
And joining us from Washington, the chairman of the Senate Special Committee on Aging, Senator John Breaux of Louisiana. Senator, good to have you back with us.
Good morning, Charlie.
Why did this fellow take the Fifth?
Well, I think he didn't want to discuss the concerns that we had as a Committee on Aging. I think he did not want to defend his product. I mean, he had the right to take the Fifth Amendment. That's his constitutional right.
But you're not alleging his products have done any harm to anybody.
Oh, just the opposite. I think that it's clear that when seniors in particular use supplements that don't do anything, instead of using their cholesterol medicine or their diabetes medicine, it can actually cause very serious harm to their bodies by not using what they should.
Sure, if they use these in place of medicines that they ought to be taking, but the products themselves haven't harmed anybody, right?
Well, it's not certain. I think that some of the products, one doctor talked about aloe vera being used actually intravenously and actually causing very serious harm and near death in a number of people. I mean, most of the supplements are very good. Most of us all take vitamins, but there are a lot of supplements that do absolutely nothing, cure nothing, and could possibly do very serious harm.
Well, a lot of people have said, why doesn't the FDA regulate these kinds of things? But a lot of this guy's stuff, this Gerovita company, and he owns a bunch of companies, but a lot of this guy's stuff do appear in more reputable products. But what's interesting to me is why can't his advertising claims be brought under regulation? I mean, he's advertising everything under the sun for this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's a disturbing thing. I mean, I read the magazine the first time, Charlie, that we got it. I mean, I thought, God, this just sounds great. It looked like the New England Journal of Medicine. I was prepared to order everything in the magazine myself until I woke up, shook my head, and said, my God, it sounds too good to be true. It probably is not. Fortunately, I had a staff to look into it to give me adequate warning about it, but most Americans don't. Congress, I think, made a mistake in 1994 when we passed the Dietary Supplement and Education Act by exempting all food supplements from any kind of FDA regulation. I think that was wrong for those that allege health benefits.
But shouldn't his advertising claims be in some way, I mean, shouldn't laws be toughened to prevent him from making exaggerated health claims for these products?
Yes, I think they should be. The Federal Trade Commission, who testified before our committee, talked about their efforts to bring in people who make these outrageous claims about cures, about adding 26% to your life cycle by just taking something in a little bottle that they sell. They can go after them like that, but unlike pharmaceuticals and over-the-counter drugs that have to prove that they're healthy and not going to harm you before they are sold, the current situation with food supplements is that the government has to prove that they are wrong. They don't have to show that they are safe before they can go into the market.
Yeah, as his former chief financial officer testified yesterday. This fellow has an underlying commitment to deception. That's quite an interesting phrase that he used. Senator Breaux, good to have you with us. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Diane?
Well, we're going to tell you in our next half hour about a man who was in the water clinging to his kayak for dear life, and his cell phone worked. That's coming up.
The Heartburn Hotel. If you suffer persistent heartburn 2 days a week or more, despite diet change and treatment, it may be acid reflux disease. Prescription Prevacid can mean 24-hour relief from acid reflux disease. Prevacid turns off tiny pumps that produce acid. It has a low occurrence of side effects, such as diarrhea, abdominal pain, and nausea. Ask your doctor if Prevacid is right for you.
So leave your heartburn behind, yeah! At Kmart, our blue lights lower prices every day.
Blue light always lower everyday prices just for you, so you can save a lot of dough at Kmart. Get down the light, always get down the light, always get down, get down, get down, get down the light, always.
Get down to Kmart for low prices. That's blue light always.
Get down. It's been 1 week since you looked at me, 'cause you heard the designers I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying, come back and see me. Yesterday, you've forgiven me, but it'll still be today till I say I'm sorry. Like vanilla is the finest of the flavors. And to see the show, 'cause then you know the girl goes at my door and the banger is you'll have to sign a waiver. I have a tendency to wear my mind up my sleeve. I had this it's been 1 week since you looked at me, dropped your eyes to the sides and said I'm sorry.
Yesterday, allergies took you out of it. Today, Allegra can help bring you back. Only Allegra has fexofenadine for once daily relief for people 12 and older. Side effects include headache, upper respiratory tract infection, and back pain. Call your doctor now for more information. Allegra, enjoy your world.
Coming up, dishwashers that catch on fire. We'll have more news after your local news.
Proud to be on your side. This is an ABC7 News Update.
Good morning to you, Washington. It's 7:22, 64 humidity-free degrees. I'm Carol Costello. We'll have your full forecast in just a few minutes. The D.C. Police Department is asking for your help to locate two missing girls. 14-year-old Yolanda Beard and her 3-year-old cousin Shantae Adams were last seen Sunday night in the 1200 block of Brentwood Road. Yolanda called Shantae's mother to say she was bringing her home, but the two never arrived. Anyone with information is asked to call D.C. Police. Michael Jordan will put to rest rumors of his return to the court in 9 days. His airness all but confirmed his return to the Associated Press last night, saying he wants to play ball. He's wanted to for years and would return for love of the game. But early this morning, Jordan reportedly denied the report to the Washington Post. Five-time MVP played his last game back in '98. If Jordan does decide to play for the Wizards, he would need to divest himself of his interest in the team. Athletic programs in Prince George's County high schools are downsizing. The county decided to cut the athletic budgets in high schools by 37%. Athletic directors are proposing varsity teams not take part in postseason competition. They may also do away with swimming and cheerleading programs. If they need to cut even more, they could end all junior varsity sports. If you're trying to be better about taking mass transit, tomorrow may be the day to start in earnest. All MTA bus and rail services will be free in Maryland tomorrow. That includes MARC trains and commuter bus lines running into the district. The program is part of a Tri-Transit Week. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the forecast and traffic, too.
All I wanna do is to thank you, even though I don't know who you are. You let me change lanes while I was driving in my car. All I wanna do is to thank you, even though I don't know who you are. You let me change lanes driving in my car. Whoever you are, I wanna thank you. Whoever
Behind in the polls, Mark Early's launched false attacks on Mark Warner. The press says Early's taken the low road. His attacks are absurd, repulsive, ugly. Early's claims about Mark Warner are dead wrong. Fabrication, a smear. They insult voters. It's typical old-style politics. Mark Early, no positive plan. Negative ads that don't tell the truth. Virginia deserves better.
Looking for home furnishing of exceptional value and quality? Then come to Gallahan's and see a wide selection of the area's finest furniture, all at 30 to 50% off every day. Discover the unique shopping experience of Gallahan's. And right now, receive up to $1,000 back on Century Savoy. From traditional to transitional, Gallahan's is your complete home furnishing destination. Take I-95 south to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Come for the selection, buy for the discounts.
ABC 7 News, brought to you in part by Gallahan's Home Furnishings.
It's been busy on the roadways this morning. Let's check in again with Mickey Scarlotta. Hey, Mickey.
Good morning, Carol. And we have lots of sunshine out there today, and it is causing backups, especially on the Beltway in Prince George's County near College Park. Let me take you there live and show you what the inner and outer loops of the Beltway look like. As you can see, very heavy volume on both loops of the Beltway. This is due to sunshine. No accidents to report over in this area. Now let me take you to the Beltway over in Virginia, looking near Telegraph Road, making your way towards the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. Not too bad over here. The hot spot is northbound on 95. We have very heavy traffic going on over there from Potomac Mills to Route 1, then again from Newington making your way to Springfield, but over here near Telegraph Road, not too bad. Now let's go to Alexandra with today's weather.
Thanks, Mickey. Under mostly clear skies, 64 in town, 55 to the west at Dulles. So certainly cool behind the cold front that moved through last night and much less humid than days past. We will see northwesterly winds rather light this morning, but they will pick up this afternoon. A mostly sunny lunchtime, 75. Expect plenty of sunshine with an 81-degree high temperature, so very pleasant this afternoon. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and 79. As we head into Thursday, the next chance for any rain is Thursday afternoon into the evening with a few showers and even a thunderstorm with the passage of a cold front. But behind that, cooler even Canadian air makes its way into Washington. Take a look at these highs on Friday and Saturday, only in the low to mid 70s, Carol.
Oh, sounds good to me, though. Thank you, Alexander. We'll see you again in 25 minutes. ABC 7 is on your side
by making your mornings easier.
And it starts here with our Good Morning Washington promise.
From the time you wake up to the time you walk out your door.
You'll get your full weather and traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7s.
And in between, the latest news from overnight. What happened while you slept?
It's our promise to you.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 7s.
Plus the news from overnight.
It's the Good Morning Washington promise, and it's only on ABC 7. Proud to be on your side.
November 29, 1999, Helms-Biden becomes law, promising the UN America's overdue bills will be paid if the UN makes changes. It does that and more, even naming an inspector general to cut waste. But we don't pay. Then the Senate votes to pay the bill, and the House too. Now, 2 years after Helms-Biden, congressional gridlock still stops payment. Before President Bush makes his first speech at the UN, Congress should honor our commitment and pay the UN bill. Great nations keep their word.
Most people don't mean to be hurtful, but when you're really overweight, you hear all the comments. So you learn to build a wall around yourself to block out what you don't want to hear. Then I overheard someone talking about Jenny Craig, and I'm glad I listened.
There's never been a better time to join Jenny Craig with their personalized one-on-one counseling. And now, for a limited time, lose 20 pounds for $20, plus the cost of food. Call 1-800-JENNY-20.
I was at a party recently, and I overheard this woman say, she looks absolutely beautiful. And you know what? She was talking about me.
Want more from a sport utility? Test drive the all-wheel drive Subaru Outback. More ground clearance than a Ford Explorer Sport. More cargo space than a Jeep Cherokee. More miles per gallon than any leading midsize SUV. Add a smooth car-like ride and you have a sport utility with a whole lot more. Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon.
Now you can get an APR as low as 2.9% on all 2002 Outback models.
Thank you for making me smile. You've been a friend for a long, long while. You make my mouth grin, wide as a mile. Thank you for making me smile.
Our
orthodontist can give you a beautiful, confident new smile. To see how easy it is, just call 1-800-4BRACES. In Virginia, Maryland, and our new office in Silver Spring, our orthodontists are making people smile. So call 1-800-4BRACES today.
Joan Rivers and Camet Band on the next Live.
Good things are happening. Good things are.
Don't you like our song? Don't you kind of bounce into the morning? I do. I'm Diane Sawyer, bouncing next to Charlie Gibson.
I've heard it only 26,000 times so far, but it still's okay. I'm Charles Gibson. Good to have you.
Better and better.
Good to have you with us. Greg Hunter's going to be here in this half hour. Has a consumer alert, an important consumer alert. Involves some dishwashers, General Electric dishwashers that can catch fire, or could catch fire, I should say. And he'll be here with that report in a moment.
Also coming up, the always stylish Lara Spencer is behind the scenes this morning, where live they are preparing to put on one of the huge new spring donuts. I'm supposed to believe that models eat donuts. I don't think so, Lara. That's you. That's you, not them. Oh, all right. All right.
Showing down.
It's just for show. They quickly stashed the lettuce
how can you do that? You
the
can
table,
eat donuts
and,
and still weigh 91 pounds. How do you do that?
Well, anyway, also coming up in this half hour, as we said, there is a kayaker who turned over in the water, in the ocean, and he was there for an hour, and his cell phone worked. And we're going to tell you the story of how he got rescued, because it's not exactly the way you think. And also, everybody's talking about Mind of the Married Man, and will it be the next Sex and the City? So we're going to let you meet the creator of the male counterpart.
Everybody's talking about the Mind of the Married Man?
Yeah.
What is that?
My ever-hip co-anchor. But let's get to the weather.
I have a Mind of the Married Man, but it's the name of a television show. You said it as if it was just a thing.
I think most people have heard of it.
They have?
Somewhat. Yeah.
It's a new television
It's being
show.
promoted everywhere.
Given the ratings, nobody's heard of any new television shows the way they go. Anyway, it's the new television show on one of the networks, and we're going to talk about it.
Tony Perkins is standing by. Mind of the weathered married man. Married weatherman.
I've heard of it. That's all I can tell you. Looks like a good show on HBO. All right, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Diane. Good morning, everybody. Got a good crowd here. They're happy to be here in New York City. And let me show you why. Take a look at the National Satellite Radar Composite. Hey, it rained on us yesterday, but look at the U.S. this morning. Very few clouds, little precipitation. That cold front has moved off the coast. But take a look in the southeast. This is where we saw some heavy activity yesterday. And I think we're going to see some more significant rains in portions of the southeast again today. As a matter of fact, particularly in Florida, we're concerned. We have some flood watches in effect in Tampa, Naples, and Miami. No flood watches in Orlando, but we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain, locally up to 5 inches of rain in places. This could lead to extensive flooding, particularly where we've seen heavy rain before, and we'll see some strong thunderstorms develop this afternoon and tonight. That's a look at what's happening with the weather around the nation. Now, here's what's happening in your neighborhood.
Good morning. We just have A-plus perfect weather, mostly sunny skies. A chilly start, though, so grab a sweater as you walk out. But we'll warm up. Mostly sunny, 81 today, 79 under sunny skies tomorrow. Could see a slight chance for a shower or a storm on Thursday afternoon, but then smooth sailing again.
Well, thank you very much. This weather report has been brought to you by Sears. Remember, you can get more information on what you see on this morning's program at our website. That is at abcnews.com. Diane, back to you.
All right, Tony. This morning we have an important update on a consumer alert involving General Electric dishwashers made in the 80s and recalled because they can catch fire. GE has been accused of failing to fix the dishwashers and instead tricking customers into spending more money. This is a story consumer correspondent Greg Hunter has followed for 2 years, and now he tells us a judge is ordering GE to pay up.
Okay, we're walking into the...
In March, Tom Sweeney's apartment in a condo complex in Niceville, Florida, caught fire.
And the fire started right in the dishwasher area here.
The fire was caused by a recalled GE dishwasher. This is all that was left of it.
Did you know the dishwasher was recalled?
No, I did not.
3 million GE and Hotpoint brand dishwashers, all made by General Electric, were recalled in 1999 because of a faulty switch. The dishwashers have now been involved in 96 incidents of smoke, fire, or melted wiring across the country.
I turned around, I looked at the dishwasher, and the dishwasher was in flames.
I looked over to where I saw flames, and it was clearly, literally coming out of my dishwasher, 4-foot flames.
Tom Sweeney's neighbors at these condos were relieved the fire didn't spread, but they're also still worried because the same dishwasher involved in this fire was also in their homes.
And the next day, I called an electrical contractor. They came out and checked 30 of the units, and all 30 of the units had the same type dishwasher.
As required under the recall, a GE repairman rewired the dishwashers for free, bypassing that slide switch that can melt and catch fire. But the condo manager wishes she'd heard about the recall before the fire.
I don't think they publicized it well enough. I mean, we had no idea.
GE recalled these dishwashers, not once, but twice. First in 1999, and again a year later. Both recalls were fully approved by the Consumer Product Safety Commission, but neither washed with New York Attorney General Elliot Spitzer, claiming that not only the dishwasher, but the recall itself was defective. He sued General Electric last year.
GE has repeatedly, throughout this entire course of conduct, they have repeatedly refused to deal with a very simple reality, which is that they have responsibility for a product. If the product is a fire hazard, they have to repair it.
The first recall was unusual, arguing their 10 to 15-year-old dishwashers were beyond their life expectancy anyway. GE told many consumers repairs were not an option. Instead, the company offered rebates on new dishwashers. However, as we reported last year, repairs were an option General Electric offered only to big commercial customers who owned many dishwashers. For those important customers, General Electric even provided a repair kit and instructional video.
Take your cutting tool and cut the wires close to the switch as possible.
What they did was deceive the public about the magnitude of the problem, deceive the public about the ability to repair the product, and then try to run away from their responsibility at every turn. It's been shameful behavior on their behalf.
Then, last winter, after we reported on questions and lawsuits over that original recall, GE announced a second recall, which was supposed to include free repairs for everyone. You might think that would have satisfied Elliot Spitzer, but it didn't.
Because when the case ended up here in New York State Supreme Court in Manhattan, a judge using GE's own figures made an astonishing finding. Even after the second recall, more than half the phone calls from people requesting repairs were lost.
The judge ordered General Electric to pay back consumers in New York who were, in Spitzer's words, tricked into buying a new dishwasher. GE declined to be interviewed on camera. In a statement, it says it is asking the judge to reconsider her findings because her factual assumptions are incorrect. And GE says we will continue to implement this successful recall that has resulted in an overwhelming majority of satisfied consumers.
And our consumer correspondent, Greg Hunter, joins us from Denver this morning. So, Greg, what do consumers do now?
Well, first of all, this is a real problem. If you have one of these dishwashers, you need to stop using it immediately. The best way to disable this dishwasher is to simply just unlatch the door. That breaks the circuit and makes it impossible for it to catch on fire. Now, here are some serial numbers that you need to look at. These are GE dishwashers and also Hotpoint dishwashers. They were made from 1983 to about 1989 for about 7 years. Here are the dishwashers up on the screen for you. Also, there's some other thing you need to know. So the letters in the dishwasher also contain certain letters you need to look for as well. I know it all seems kind of complicated. You can always call the company that's General Electric, or you can look it up on abcnews.com, and you'll have all the information. But make no mistake, this dishwasher can catch on fire. You need to stop using it and get it taken care of. It was made for about 7 years, from 83 to 89.
Okay, Greg, thanks to you. And when we come back, is a single hair about to solve one of America's longest-running mysteries? We'll tell you.
I didn't expect Beatson to do too well this week. His ball flight doesn't really favor
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, honey.
Is this hemline working?
I think it looks very nice on you.
And over on the 8th.
Yeah, but is it too preschool?
Clothes are important to kids, and only Sears has the Kidvantage Club, where you get a wear-out guarantee and earn valuable coupons for future purchases. Sears, where else?
There's a different way to look at your money.
What's it say?
ING. It's not an ending. It's a beginning.
I don't want to swim the English Channel. I don't want to take kickboxing. All I want are mornings where arthritis pain doesn't stop me from getting together with my friends for class.
Vioxx is here, a prescription medicine for osteoarthritis pain. With one little pill a day, Vioxx can provide powerful 24-hour relief of pain and stiffness. Vioxx specifically targets only the COX-2 enzyme, a key source of arthritis pain. People with allergic reactions such as asthma to aspirin or other arthritis medicines should not take Vioxx. In rare cases, serious stomach problems such as bleeding can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. For more information, talk to your doctor about once-daily Vioxx for the relief of osteoarthritis pain, and you may be able to plan your day around your life instead of your pain. Ask your doctor if Vioxx is right for you. Vioxx for everyday victories.
I'm here to demonstrate how Whiskas savory nuggets with crispy outsides and soft centers compare to the typical dry cat food. Observe the difference at impact. Now ours.
Perhaps we should try another building.
Whiskas with savory nuggets. What cats want. Find Chuck and Marvin and you could win $100,000. See specially marked Whiskas packages.
So, Flo, Tums Ultra or Pepsid Complete?
Dose for dose, Tums Ultra neutralizes twice as much acid as Pepsid's antacid. Yet the Pepsid costs much more.
Tums, Harry. You can feel better now and save enough to leave a nice big tip.
Tums.
There have been a lot of headaches in this house, but only one headache medicine, Tylenol, for fast relief of even tough headaches.
Now, an anti-aging breakthrough. New Neutrogena Visibly Firm with active copper. Copper, a collagen-building mineral, is essential for firm skin, but diminishes with age. Neutrogena Visibly Firm replenishes copper. In 2 weeks, skin is firmer. Neutrogena Visibly Firm.
It remains one of the great American unsolved murder mysteries, Jimmy Hoffa. But now, as you may have seen, 26 years after his disappearance, the FBI may have a break that they need to crack the case. ABC's John Miller starts outlining the story.
Who killed Jimmy Hoffa? The FBI now believes more than ever that Hoffa's own adopted son, Charles Chucky O'Brien, knows the answer and helped lure Hoffa to his death. Hoffa was last seen in the parking lot of this Michigan restaurant. He was there to meet Detroit mob boss Anthony Tony Jack Giacalone. That day, O'Brien, Hoffa's protege, said he was driving a car owned by the mob boss's son, Joe Giacalone. O'Brien has always denied picking up Hoffa at the restaurant. William Buffalino is O'Brien's lawyer.
Chuck O'Brien and Mr. Hoffa were never in that car together.
According to O'Brien's alibi, he was using the car that day to deliver a 40-pound salmon to a friend's house. And that, he said, explained traces of blood found in the backseat of the car. But unless that salmon had been wearing Jimmy Hoffa's hat, O'Brien may now have more explaining to do. According to FBI sources, a recent DNA test using technology not available in the 70s proved that a hair found in the backseat of that car matched hairs taken from Jimmy Hoffa's hairbrush. The FBI now wants to question O'Brien again.
He was approached by 2 agents, and he was told that they have some new information and that they would like to talk to him, and he told them not without his attorney being present.
But Hoffa's son, James Jr., says even more than 25 years ago, he was suspicious of O'Brien.
This was on the very day that my father disappeared, or the next day. And I had a major confrontation to him to say, where were you, and explain yourself. And his reaction was to run out of the room, and I haven't seen him since.
But even if it's proven that Hoffa's hair was in the car that Chucky O'Brien was driving, is that enough to make a case? And against whom? The man standing with Hoffa here, Anthony Tony Provenzano, the mob-connected Teamsters rival the FBI believes ordered the hit, is dead. Anthony Tony Jack Giacalone, who set up the meeting with Hoffa at the restaurant, is also dead. Salvatore Briguglio, the alleged hitman imported from New York to kill Hoffa, was shot to death in front of this restaurant in New York's Little Italy in 1978. But Chucky O'Brien, 66, is alive and well in Florida.
I doubt that there'll ever be a prosecution for the murder of Jimmy Hoffa.
Ed McDonald, a former organized crime strike force prosecutor, says even with new DNA evidence, the hair by itself is not enough to go to trial.
It would probably take a live witness coming forward to cooperate with the government and to say that that witness actually witnessed the murder of Jimmy Hoffa.
And John Miller joins us now. Why? I mean, because people have characterized this as a major break, finding that there was one of Jimmy Hoffa's hairs in the back of Chucky O'Brien's car. So why is that such a major break? I mean, they may be able to put him in the car. O'Brien may have lied about it, but that doesn't mean he killed him, does it?
Well, it's the first scientific piece of evidence that that proves that at least Jimmy Hoffa's hair was in that car, and it was a car that O'Brien had borrowed to use only on the day that Hoffa disappeared. There's no other time that Hoffa was likely to have been in that car, so it really puts a little pressure on O'Brien, but it's not enough to make a case because, you know, a good defense lawyer could get O'Brien to say that hair could have come off Jimmy Hoffa when he hugged me, it could have fallen into the car, it could have been on the same coat I wore the last time I saw Hoffa.
So when this evidence came out, people were talking about maybe this will lead to prosecution. You agree with the former prosecutor at McDonald that it's not enough to prosecute on?
Certainly the hair is not enough. We don't know everything about what they know. Now, interestingly, federal prosecutors have met twice in the last 2 years with all the investigators to try and cull that old evidence together, including witnesses who saw Hoffa leaving the parking lot in a maroon Mercury Brougham.
Hoffa's son said he thinks it'll take some sort of a deathbed confession from someone before they ever really find out who did this. You agree with that?
And he made that appeal. He's always felt that there are people out there, even now, still alive, who know, and he's called on them to come forward. And as Ed McDonald said, what it really takes is a live witness who can say, I was there.
Right, yeah. After 26 years, it's a case that still fascinates people. Who killed Jimmy Hoffa, the line with which you started that piece. John Miller, thanks very much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly, and I'm going to be your instructor today.
She seems nice.
That means you belong to me.
Uh-oh.
Let's go! Pedal, pedal, pedal!
Bring it on, Kelly.
Need energy that lasts? Try Energy Crunch, the new cereal from Wheaties. It's got complex carbs, protein clusters, and B vitamins for that lasting energy you need.
Thanks, Kelly. That was fun.
New Wheaties Energy Crunch. How far does your breakfast go?
Point. Shoot. Create. The HP Pavilion 7970 with the Intel Pentium 4 processor. How will you use it? Save up to $250 by mail on the HP Digital Photography Studio.
Let's talk germs, okay? This is new Dial Complete. It's no ordinary soap. It's antibacterial foaming hand wash. Dial Complete is 10 times more effective at killing germs than ordinary liquid soaps. Rinse is cleaner and it's milder. Huh? You got kids, pets, boyfriends? Then let's review. More germ-killing power, plus rinse is cleaner, plus milder, equals a complete clean of Dial Complete. Can your soap do that?
Aren't you glad you used Dial?
The Heartburn Hotel. If you suffer persistent heartburn 2 days a week or more, despite diet change and treatment, it may be acid reflux disease. Prescription Prevacid can mean 24-hour relief from acid reflux disease. Prevacid turns off tiny pumps that produce acid. It has a low occurrence of side effects, such as diarrhea, abdominal pain, and nausea. Ask your doctor if Prevacid is right for you.
So leave your heartburn behind, yeah!
Wednesday, all day, it's Macy's Super One-Day Sale. Use your extra savings coupons. Jewelry 30 to 50% off, plus an extra 15% off selections. Sportswear for her, an extra 30 to 40% off. Men's sweaters and sports shirts, $19.99 to $29.99. Lily and Ashley bed in a bag, $49.99 with coupon. Tools of the Trade 14-piece cook set, $49.99. Macy's Super One-Day Sale, Wednesday. Preview Day Tuesday, open 9 a.m.
When it comes to cars, Toyota has it all. Better quality, better value, and all the right choices. Starting with one of the lowest priced cars in America. Toyota, the right one for you.
As we told you yesterday, after Labor Day, traffic patterns returned to normal, and we had a special show on commuting chaos in America. Following our intrepid stock trader, Mike Macchiarola, from New Jersey to work here in Manhattan, 62 miles one way. It usually takes him about 90 minutes. Yesterday, well, not yesterday. As we watched live, Mike Macchiarola said goodbye to his wife and two boys and started his 62-mile commute from Bridgewater, New Jersey, into New York City. Mike told us his 1.5-hour each-way commute is the price he pays for the American dream. Yesterday, we were along for the ride.
Why do you do that? Why do you make the sacrifice and live that far away?
My children love the area. My wife and I love the area. It's quiet.
The average commuter travels 6,000 miles a year. That's twice cross-country. He's getting close. He's getting close. Well, for Mike to add insult to injury, after 95 grueling minutes getting to 44th Street in Manhattan, it took an amazing 11 minutes just to inch along the last 4 blocks to Times Square. Finally, our road warrior arrived.
This has been something else.
1 hour, 47 minutes, 10 seconds.
You think he's lonely without us out there today? And our cameras and our helicopters. I mean,
we were hoping he'd make it by the end of the show. Didn't happen.
No way, no way.
Such are the vagaries of commuting.
Travel survival story of a different sort. A man is stranded in the ocean off the southern coast of England, left clinging for more than an hour to a kayak that capsized in heavy seas, but his cell phone worked. Can you believe this? Mine doesn't work on dry land. So who did you call? 911 or the British equivalent? No, Dr. Mark Ashton Smith, who is a lecturer at Cambridge University, panicked and didn't think of it, and in the desperate situation, called his father in the Middle East.
In Dubai.
In Dubai.
3,500 miles away.
911 in England, and he was rescued.
It worked. It worked. We'll be back.
OnStar now offers a safer way to make calls on the road.
Personal calling.
Call Vicky Vale.
Hello?
Things are heating up. I'll be a little late.
How late?
Very late. There's never a good time to take your eyes off the road. Voice-activated calling from OnStar.
The Ring-A-Mop from Quickie. Go ahead. Make a mess.
Maybe you should give me your phone number.
On October 5th.
Fate's telling us to back off.
You don't have the most incredible night of your life with a perfect stranger and then leave it all to chance, do you?
No name.
I gotta find this girl before I get married.
No address.
I'm thinking about this mystery guy I met 1.5 million hours ago.
Just fate.
Once in your lifetime, someone comes along whom you're meant to be with. For my friend, that person was me.
Serendipity. Rated PG-13. In theaters everywhere, Friday, October 5th.
I love sharing my passion for dance with children. Being a dance teacher really takes a toll on your skin, on your body.
Dove knows beautiful skin is healthy skin.
After a long day of dancing, my skin craves nourishment.
With Stripes of Cleanser and Vitamin E Lotion, Dove Nutrium replenishes essential nutrients and restores the radiance life takes away.
It's like it feeds my skin, it gives it nourishment. I try to stay physically fit and healthy because your body's your instrument. It makes your skin so soft.
Having just one way to express yourself can be frustrating. That's why Singular Wireless offers a range of airtime options. Choose two and create your own plan. Sign up now and get a deal on a cool Nokia. Singular Wireless. What do you have to say?
Did I forget your birthday?
No.
Our anniversary. Did you find that thing I buried? Did I insult your mother?
No.
Well, what did I do wrong?
You live next door, Mr. Oliver.
Haven't been home much? Slow down with Boston Market. And now try our delicious quarter dark chicken meal with not just 2, but 3 sides and cornbread for just $4.99. Boston Market. Slow down.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Dove Nutria.
130,000 American families are going to send college students overseas to study abroad this year. Cautionary tale for all of them next half hour.
And Lara Spencer at the fashion shows with naked models. Well, we want you to watch. That's why I said that.
Rooms provided by Millennium Broadway, just steps away from Good Morning America at the crossroads of the world. Definitely Times Square, definitely New York.
You've heard stories about red tape, but school kids and working families can't get food they're supposed to get? How the government's good intentions have gone wrong on World News Tonight.
Philly premieres next Tuesday at 10/9 Central on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
Proud to be on your side. This is an ABC7 News Update.
Good morning to you, Washington. I'm Carol Costello at 7:56, 64 humidity-free degrees. We'll have your full forecast in just a minute. In the news this morning, the speculation continues, but it looks like the official announcement on Michael Jordan's return to the hard court is a mere 9 days away. Jordan all but confirmed his return last night, saying he would do it for the love of the game. And tomorrow would be the day to start taking mass transit in Maryland. All MTA bus and rail services will be free tomorrow. That includes the MARC trains and commuter bus lines running into the district. The program is part of Tri-Transit Week. Let's head out to the roadways and try transit with Mickey Scarlotta.
Yes, please take those buses and trains tomorrow. But right now, let me take you live. We have lots of slow traffic around town, lots of sunshine delays. Let me show you what your ride looks like in Montgomery County coming down southbound 270 near Germantown. As you can see, very heavy volume, but all your lanes are reported open on both the main lanes and the express lanes all the way down the lane divide. Just very slow traffic. Now let me show you what your ride looks like on northbound 95 at that Springfield interchange. It has been a bear all morning coming up from Woodbridge all the way to Newington, then over here at the Springfield interchange. Very slow traffic, but all your earlier accidents are out of the roadway. We did have a car fire at 7100. That has been pushed out of the road. Now let's go to Alexandra with a look at the forecast.
Thanks, Mickey. Well, tonight's forecast will certainly, and the road conditions will be better because we've got smooth sailing with our skies. Mostly sunny, 75 at lunchtime. Expect a comfortable afternoon, high of 81. Clear and chilly tonight, once again in the upper 50s and low 60s. Tomorrow, really repeat performance, mostly sunny and upper 70s. And then Thursday afternoon, an isolated shower or two in the afternoon. And then behind that, clear and even chillier for the weekend ahead. Carol?
Thanks, Alexandra. We'll see you again at 8:25. You make it a great day.
Today, cable companies like AT&T control over 70% of high-speed internet connections because they compete under different rules than phone companies. Unless Congress acts, millions will be left behind or with only one choice, their cable company. Now a study says a delay in high-speed internet rollout could cost our economy $500 billion. Toza and Dingle guarantees access to inner cities and small towns and would add billions to our economy. Don't believe the static from AT&T. Pass Toza and Dingle.
Bring it in, fellas. There we go. Come on, hustle up now. Come on. Here we go. Oh, there you go. There you go. Hit the pad. Hit the pad. There we go. There we go.
For a fast appointment with a great doctor, call 202-877-DOCS.
Welcome to Wardrobe 911. These three friends came to us with a problem. How do you get that designer look without breaking the bank? Wow, great designer. Fortunately, it's Designer Week at Ross. We found some of the top labels at fabulous prices.
At Designer Week, you'll find the latest in career and casual clothing at unbelievable savings.
That looks so expensive. Thank you. Thank Designer Week at Ross. And you can do it too.
Designer Week at Ross. Don't miss it.
Now ABC7 can help you find it all at WJLA.com, where you'll discover exciting new ways to communicate better with your children. Make time to listen. Take time to talk the fun way. Just log on to WJLA.com, keyword 15+. A Medical Miracle, tonight on ABC7 News at 5.
Good morning, America. How nice to see all of you. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer. It's Tuesday, September 11th, 2001.
And before we get to this half hour, I want you to hold up your left palm.
Oh, come on.
To that camera over there.
You bust me.
Hold up your palm.
What happened
I
to
want to
my...
find out about your hand. Hold it up. Spread your hand.
One for all and all for one.
Now, what is it that you have written on your hand?
These are my things to do for the day list.
Things to do for the day.
Yes, I couldn't get through this. Rick Kaplan, I have all these things. Isaac McSween, I have all these things
Darling,
to do
we
today.
have pads. We have paper that you can write this on. But you have a purse over there. You can take the paper, write it down, put it in the
I'm
purse.
biodegradable in every sense of the word.
And you wonder about the weirdness I have to deal with every day. Hi, Mom. Anyway, this half hour.
Charlie Gibson.
This half hour, I mentioned a little bit earlier in the broadcast because it's an important story. There's about 130,000 American families that are going to send students off to study abroad this year. It's an extraordinary cultural experience, but it can have a dangerous side as well. A young woman is going to join us in just a few moments with her frightening story of an assault by a stranger and negligence by local authorities who wouldn't do anything about it. And we're going to find out from an expert some tips on how to keep your child safe if he or she is going abroad to study.
And on a lighter note, in this half hour, our Lara Spencer is going behind the scenes for this week's big spring fashion shows here in New York. Boy, is this city abuzz with them. And she's going to show us what it's like as you gear up for the morning event. And this is live, by the way. It's really going to happen at 9 o'clock for all of these models. And also still ahead, everybody is talking about this new show, which could be the revenge to Sex and the City, and it's called The Mind of a Married Man. And in this half hour, or the next half hour, you're going to meet the man who created it. And he says it's time to learn what goes on inside male minds in the same way you do female minds on Sex and the City. So let's see. Claire Shipman, do we want to know that? I don't know. In Washington for Antonio Mora.
I am not sure about that, but I can tell you what's the news down here in Washington, and it is Michael Jordan, probably the news all over the nation. He's given the biggest hint so far that he may return to the NBA as a player this season. Talking to reporters yesterday, Jordan indicated strongly he'd be back, this time with the Washington Wizards. But then he later told the Washington Post he didn't say he definitely would be returning. Clearly, he wants to keep everybody guessing. In the meantime, fans are ecstatic about his possible return.
If he thinks he's, confident enough to come back into the game and play, then I'm sure he's going to do an excellent job.
Jordan always likes a challenge. He's a competitor. You never lose that competitive nature.
Anytime you got Michael Jordan on the floor, they're going to be the team.
Jordan will announce his final decision next week. Well, the faltering economy is on the minds of many Americans, and the president is coming under increasing pressure from Democrats and Republicans to act. Mr. Bush is in Florida today, where he'll try to keep at least part of his focus on his education agenda. And ABC's John Cochran is traveling with the president. Good morning, John. I understand Mr. Bush has been reluctant to talk about the economy down there and about any support for additional tax cuts.
He sure has. In fact, if you can believe it, this morning, he's already been asked about it. Before dawn this morning, he was out jogging. Reporters said, how about more tax cuts? He said, I'm not going to talk about it now, but he did hit. He might talk about it later today. So far, the best answer we've had came from your interview earlier this morning with Commerce Secretary Don Evans when you asked the Secretary whether the president might support a cut in capital gains taxes.
I don't think you take it off the table. I think you consider all the options that are out there. I think you have to continue to watch the numbers, continue to watch the data. There's some more important data that will be released later on this week. He'll continue to watch the data. His economic advisors will as well. They'll advise him. He'll consider that advice and then make decisions.
The president will be considering not only a cut in the capital gains tax rate, but also a cut in payroll taxes favored by Democrats. Claire?
Okay, John Cochran in Sarasota, Florida, thanks for that. The U.S. has lost another unmanned spy plane over Iraq. Iraqi television says the plane was shot down near the southern city of Basra. If true, that would indicate improving Iraqi ability to target U.S. aircraft. U.S. officials confirmed that they've lost contact with the craft, a Predator drone similar to the one that was lost last month. A jury is being selected today to determine whether Houston mother Andrea Yates is fit to stand trial. Yates drowned her 5 children in a bathtub in June. Her lawyers say she's legally insane. The district attorney says he'll pursue the death penalty. A new report could increase pressure to expand federal funding for stem cell research. The National Academy of Sciences has concluded that to fulfill the potential for disease-fighting results, researchers will need more embryonic stem cell lines than the 64 that President Bush has cleared for funding. Another report from the Academy of Sciences concludes that the EPA has severely underestimated the cancer risk of arsenic in drinking water. An EPA spokeswoman acknowledges the study increases the likelihood of stricter standards for arsenic, something the Bush administration initially resisted. And finally, you're about to meet a man who, at first glance, has a face only a mother could love. But as ABC's Richard Gisbert reports, this face could soon be giving Cindy Crawford and friends a run for their money.
He was a motorcycle courier until he got his big break. He was given a package for delivery to the ugly modeling agency of London.
He came in the office and he had his visor down and just said, I've got this parcel. And he said, can you sign it? And as he pulled it up, there was these protruding teeth that stuck out, and I just thought, wicked. That's why I said, do not move.
This guy stopped me and says, do I want to be a model? Hey, now I'm a part-time jet set superstar.
Superstar might be pushing it, but Del Keynes is certainly making a unique impression on the modeling industry. A-list advertisers like Calvin Klein and Levi's have both used him, and Renault, the car maker, has built an entire campaign around him. And he's not cheap, at up to $14,000 a day.
Hello, Ugly.
Del is the current poster child of the Ugly modeling agency. Ugly has more of what it calls character models on its books than any other agency in the world. Occasionally, one of the Ugly agency ducklings encounters one of the swans of the catwalk.
When I arrive on set with another model, right, and they're on set, they think I'm just something to do with lighting or rigor or something, until they realise that I'm actually the same as them. Then they start going on about, oh, I'm flying off to Milan tomorrow with like blah, 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 and all this. It's like, yeah, been there, done that, and they don't believe me.
With a surplus of conventional beauty out there, there's a demand for character models. On this shoot, Del Keynes is working for an American high-tech company that's just getting started in Europe. In other words, they want this face to launch 1,000 chips.
Okay, Tony Perkins, try to follow that with the weather.
All I can say is sign me up. That is, hey, more power to them. Everybody should have a good job. That's great. Thank you, Claire. We enjoyed that one. We've got a lot to talk about as far as our weather goes. A little bit of ugly weather, as a matter of fact. Take a look at the tropical weather map. There's a lot going on. Let me start with Hurricane Erin, which, as you know, should shift to the northeast. It has decreased in intensity. We don't expect it to impact the U.S. except for the heavy swells that we're going to see along the coast. Tropical storm Evo. We have tropical storm warnings in effect for the central western Mexican coast. This storm will strengthen. That's what we expect. It could affect the southwest U.S. eventually. Low pressure area in the Gulf of Mexico will bring strong rains to Florida. Could see some flooding. It could develop tropical characteristics. Tropical depression number 7 could become a tropical storm later. Right now, winds are at 35 miles an hour. That's a look at what's happening with the weather around the world. Now, here's what's happening in your neighborhood.
A good morning under mostly clear skies, some cool temperatures, 65 in Washington, still holding in the mid to upper 50s to the west of town around Dulles. Certainly less humid than days past, so really a very pleasant morning. Here's the forecast, mostly sunny, 75 at lunchtime. Expect a comfortable 81 under mostly sunny skies, just a beautiful day. As we head through tonight, mostly clear and cool once again late tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 79. Late on Thursday, could see a passing shower or thunderstorm, and behind that, even cooler air moves into Washington.
Thank you very much. That's an update on the weather. It's 9 after the hour now. Charlie, back to you.
All right, Tony, at the beginning of the half hour, I was talking about the fact that over the past decade, the number of college students studying abroad has doubled. It's become the thing to do, and it's very commendable that students be exposed to overseas cultures. But are the more than 100,000 students in these programs and their parents aware that there can be possible dangers? That question is raised by an article in the latest issue of 17 magazine written by a courageous young woman who has decided to go public about how she was raped in Mexico as a college senior. Alison Aguado is joining us now, along with Janet Alperstein, who is Assistant Dean of Studies and Study Abroad Advisor at Barnard College, and it's good to have both of you here. It is always a difficult thing to do, to talk about rape. It's a very hard thing to do. You wrote about it in a very public journal. Why?
I thought that it was important that other young women should know about the possible dangers, not only in Mexico, but in other countries studying abroad.
You were in Mexico.
I was in Mexico.
When you went off there, did it occur to you it can be dangerous?
It had occurred to me. I had attended the study abroad meetings, and Mexico was painted as this town in Mexico was painted as a very quaint and safe town. They said it was not at all like Mexico City, and that we would have a wonderful time there, and the culture was fantastic.
So you went away relatively reassured?
Yes.
Date rape drug. There is a date rape drug, which we have talked a lot about on this broadcast, that somebody can slip into a drink. It's illegal in the United States, not illegal in Mexico.
I found that out when I was in Mexico. I was out with friends, and somebody put the date rape drug, Rohypnol, in my drink. When I later went to the hospital after a sexual assault, they told me they wouldn't test my blood for Rohypnol or roofies.
Because it was legal.
Because it was legal.
And people can use it. And the authorities were not particularly interested in prosecuting, I gather.
No, not at all. Rutgers actually referred me to a psychiatrist who said that this is a common occurrence in Mexico and most victims don't press charges.
Janet Alperstein, how forewarned are students when they go overseas?
What we try and do, like a lot of our colleagues across the country, is that we want to try and make students and their families aware of the resources out there to be able to make an educated and informed decision about studying abroad. There are both risks and benefits to studying abroad, and our job as administrators and educators is to try and minimize the risks and maximize the benefits.
But Alison tells us she goes off relatively assured. She's told this is a wonderful community, she'll have a great time, etc. Do you specifically sit them down and say, look, this can be a dangerous society you're going to, or what?
What we do is, both in printed material on the web, in meetings, both study abroad information sessions as well as pre-departure meetings, is talk to students about the fact that they are going to be going somewhere completely new. We try and, in some ways, compare it to going off to college. You're going to be transitioning into a new place, a place you're unfamiliar with, far from home.
The interesting thing is here, because so many more students are going, as I mentioned, the numbers have doubled, that it's not just language students anymore who have a pretty good knowledge of the culture where they go. There's a lot of people who don't know a whole, I mean, globalization of business and whatever, a lot of different kinds of students want to go, and they're not as fully aware of what the society is like to which they go.
Exactly.
So, is it the college's responsibility, bottom line, to take care of the student, or is it the student's responsibility to inform him or herself?
I think both have responsibilities in this case. Colleges and universities need to make the information accessible both to students and their families so they can make an educated decision. If you look at the websites of study abroad programs at Barnard College and nationwide, you'll see a lot of us have links directly to the U.S. State Department's travel warnings and consular informations. And for international students who want to study abroad, we encourage them to seek out the same information from their home country. And so it's important for students and families to take advantage of the resources and to ask questions. Ask questions of students who've been on study abroad programs through surveys that a lot of us have accessible to our students.
Or alums who may be there as well. Let me ask you, anything that you wish the college had done differently before you left, or anything you wish you'd done differently before you left?
Well, I wish the college had adequately prepared me for going abroad. As far as medical care, which was very substandard compared to the United States, police departments, were completely unsupportive. I spent 2 hours at the police station, and there's no record of me having been there. The hospital lost all samples. pertaining to my testing.
We did ask Rutgers for a statement in all this. That was the university that you attended, and they said, we've sent 4,500 students abroad successfully. We ask students to read and take seriously the material we provide and the counsel we give. We advise students to be vigilant.
I, of course, took everything seriously. I don't believe that we were provided with adequate materials. I believe that they were supposed to give us a handbook that was on the order of 50 to 100 pages, which I never received. I also tried contacting 2 previous students in the program who never returned my calls.
Well, it's a very important warning for students who are going abroad. Check, make sure you know what's going on. Janet Alberstein from Barnard College, thanks very much. Ellison, thank you for being here. I know it's a tough thing to do. We take a break. When we come back, live in Fashion Week, stay with us. We'll be back.
Introducing new Era Max.
I am a jungle gym. I am a trampoline. I am a brick wall. I am not a washing machine.
Now you don't have to be. New Era Max. Cuts through your active family stains to brighten whites and colors.
I am a finish line.
New Era Max. This is your era.
With posted pop-up notes in the handy dispenser, you always know where your notes are. So you won't go nuts looking for nuts. And posted pop-up dispensers also come in these cool colors.
I have asthma. I also have 2 brothers and a dog, Max, and friends I hang out with. I don't want to miss out because of my asthma.
Singulair can help you control your child's asthma. Singulair is different from many daily inhaled controllers. It's not a steroid, and it's a once-a-day cherry chewable tablet that can help control your child's asthma for a full 24 hours. Singulair is available for children 2 years and older, and also for adults. Singulair should not be used to treat acute asthma attacks. Your child should continue taking their other asthma medicines unless their doctor tells you to stop or change the dose. If symptoms get worse, contact your child's doctor at once. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, flu, runny nose, and ear infection. For more information about Singulair, ask your child's doctor. And ask about adding once-a-day Singulair. Singulair, asthma control that can help you both breathe easier.
Tropicana Pure Premium Grove Stand is made from only fresh oranges, never from concentrate. It's as close as you can get to the orange. Tropicana Pure Premium.
If you have osteoarthritis, there's reason to celebrate. It's Celebrex.
Celebrate, celebrate, come on and celebrate.
Celebrex specifically targets only the COX-2 enzyme, a key source of arthritis pain. Celebrex relieves arthritis pain plus inflammation and stiffness, too.
Celebrate, celebrate, come on and celebrate.
Celebrex should not be taken if you've had aspirin-sensitive asthma or allergic reactions due to aspirin or other arthritis medicines, or certain drugs called sulfonamides. In rare cases, serious stomach problems, such as bleeding, can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems.
Celebrate, celebrate.
Powerful 24-hour relief from osteoarthritis pain, inflammation, and stiffness. Ask your doctor about prescription Celebrex.
Celebrate, celebrate, come on and celebrate.
Okay, now I know this question is kind of a toughie, but I bet somebody knows the answer.
Oh, friend, we know how to do this one. We learned it together, remember?
With Disney Learning Software, your child's favorite Disney characters help make learning fun. And when learning's fun, kids love to learn. Disney Learning Software, like having 35 teachers for every kid. Rated E for everyone.
Oh, I just knew we could do it.
You can hear the sound of hair dryers roaring all over New York City, mascara popping, because it's Fashion Week. Spring fashion's being rolled out, many of them in Bryant Park, not far from here, where our very own Lara Spencer is standing by and knows everything that goes on behind the scenes. I've always wondered.
This is so fun. Behind me, you can see gorgeous models getting their hair and makeup. We are getting ready for a 9 o'clock show here at 7th on 6th. And Diane, this is a huge to-do here in New York City twice a year. It's when all of the top designers preview their upcoming collections. So just when you're shaking out your sweaters, the dust, the mothballs out of your fall collection, here's what's happening for spring 2002. Very ruffly, very feminine look. That's Catherine Malandrino. It's very feminine. Taupe is a huge color for next spring, in case you need to know. The one-piece bathing suit is back and better than ever, thank the Lord. And at Diane von Furstenberg, the little black dress is back and better than ever. Black is always in, and they say for spring it's a big look. This is more than about fashion, though. It's really sort of like the Oscars here in New York. It's the hottest ticket in town, great parties. On any given day here at the tent on 6th Avenue, you'll see celebrities, socialites, supermodels. Only people who really don't want to be here are people like me, who are pregnant and don't really want to see skinny, beautiful models in clothing that we can't get one leg in. Until today, that all changes. A big moment. For the first time, the elite have allowed a maternity designer to show their collection. This is Liz Lang, and you say you are a fashion designer just like everyone else, but with a little more fabric.
Absolutely. This is just a spring collection like all the collections you're seeing here. All the design influences are the same. It's just that the clothes are a little bit bigger, and only a little bit bigger, as you can see.
Talk to us about some of your looks.
Oh, this is so exciting. This is a new group I've just done with Nike. It's activewear for pregnant women. It's so fabulous. It's just like fashion, anything you'd want to work out in, show your stomach, look great. Black and white is always right for spring. I love a body-bearing look. I think it's so sexy and so chic. Red and a shirt dress. Red is really a new spring basic. It's just always. And shirt dresses continue to be so strong this spring. This is just a collection, just designer clothes.
So it's official. Maternity wear is no longer about muumuus. It actually is trendy. Also really important in fashion is makeup, and Janine Lobel from Stila is doing the makeup here. Real quick, I know it's a clean look. Any advice for pregnant women? How does it change when putting on makeup?
Well, the texture of your skin changes. You have to deal with pregnancy masks sometimes. But the main thing is get into multiple use easy products. So we're using a lot of the Stila Sport, which is eyes, lips, and cheeks all in one.
All right, keep it simple. Really quick, just one difference. You know, at most shows, you'll see models smoking, having champagne. Not this model, not this show. We're snacking here, getting ready for the big show.
That's the donuts.
See you soon. Good morning, America.
Be adventurous. Be plugged in. Be involved. Be powerful. Be yourself. Because it's your choice, your voice, and your attitude. Today's AARP.
Eclipse Gum, now in more powerful winter fresh and spearmint. With Eclipse, it's lights out bad breath.
It's the one material that helps preserve the earth by being recycled more than anything else in the world. But it doesn't always fit in those little recycling bins. Learn more about steel recycling at thenewsteel.com.
This will be an everlasting love. This will be the one I'm waiting for. This will be the first time anyone has loved me.
More women use orthotricycline than any other birth control pill. Taken correctly, it's over 99% effective, so you don't worry about getting pregnant till you want to. And orthotricycline is clinically proven to help clear up moderate acne.
The pill does not protect against HIV or sexually transmitted diseases. Serious risks include blood clot, stroke, and heart attack. Cigarette smoking increases these risks, especially if you're a smoker over 35. Women who use the pill are urged not to smoke. Women who have blood clots, certain cancers, a history of heart attack or stroke, and those who could be pregnant should not use the pill. For more information, talk to your healthcare provider.
If you're going to take the pill, why not take orthotricycline? Clinically proven to help your skin look better. Orthotricycline. Isn't it great to find the one that's right for you?
This will be
Big brother, little brother. Car keys, cartoons. Plays in a band, plays in the sand. 6'3", 3'6". What brings these two to the table? Honey Nut Chex. The taste of golden honey and nuts that's sweet, but not too sweet. So everybody likes it. What'll they agree on next? Maybe girls? Maybe in a couple of years. Honey Nut Checks, bringing families together. For breakfast, anyway.
Beau goes away to college this year. He needs everything for his dorm room. Fortunately, Walmart has everything. The prices are terrific, and we can give him a Walmart shopping card for the things he needs later. Do you like the light or the dark blue? Walmart is just a lifesaver for us. They have everything we need to send them off to college. More importantly, I can afford it. I think I'm more nervous than he is.
Proud to be on your side, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, Washington. I'm Don Hudson. It's good to be with you. It's now 8:25, 64 degrees. We'll have a look at the forecast and traffic in just a moment. First, the news of the morning. A 12-year-old boy is in critical condition after being struck by a car in Montgomery County. Now, this happened on Beers Mill Road about 7:30 last night. Police say the unidentified boy was actually trying to cross that road to play football at a field that is next to the St. Jude's Church there. The road was closed while the child was flown to Children's Hospital. D.C. Police Department is asking for the public's help locating two missing girls. 14-year-old Yolanda Beard and her 3-year-old cousin Shantae Adams were last seen on Sunday evening in the 1200 block of Brentwood Road. Now, Yolanda called Shantae's mother to say that she was bringing her home, but the two never arrived. Anyone with any information is urged to contact the D.C. Police Department. Also this morning, the search is on for a man who police say exposed himself to 3 girls. Police say it happened Saturday at the Lee District Park on Telegraph Road in Alexandria. The girls say the man approached them, pulled his pants down, and that's when the 10-year-olds ran away. He's described as a 20-year-old Hispanic man, about 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, black curly hair, brown eyes, and a mustache. Again, anyone with information about this should contact the Alexandria Police Department. And the district is cracking down on illegal parking, but critics claim it's just a means to collect more money. Now, in the early 90s, D.C. made $70 million a year on tickets. That's down to about $48 million now. The number of ticket riders is going to increase from 69 to 109. 247 are authorized for this fiscal year. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll check on traffic and we'll take a look at the forecast.
ABC 7 News brought to you in part by Millennium Scan.
Wouldn't it be incredible to be able to clearly detect a serious health problem before it gets worse? Well, forget incredible. It's now a reality. With Millennium Scan, board-certified radiologists use the most advanced technology available to get the most detailed images of every part of your body, so they have a clear picture of the state of your health. There's never been an imaging process so thorough, so clear, and so revealing, and there's never been an easier way to protect your health. Call today or log on at millenniumscan.com.
And welcome back. It is now 8:27. Let's check in with Mickey Scarlotta, who is keeping an eye on traffic out there.
Good morning, Don. Well, our rush hour is in full swing, especially in Montgomery County, southbound 270, all stacked up from 370 all the way to the lane divide. And right now, here's a live picture how we look at Old Georgetown Road. You can see those cars slowing down up ahead. They're going to be on the brakes all the way around on the inner loop to Georgia Avenue. Now let me show you what your ride looks like over in Virginia. Look at this slow traffic near Telegraph Road. Those cars on the right-hand side of your screen are on the outer loop of the Beltway. We have an accident right before you reach Telegraph Road over in the left lane, and it is continued slow all the way around to the Woodrow Wilson Bridge into that sunshine. Now let's go to Alexandra with a look at today's weather.
And there's plenty of sunshine to head into. 67, mostly clear skies. It's 64 now at Dulles, so beginning to warm things up. Here's your forecast. A lot less humid than days past. Really a pleasant morning as you head out the door to go to work or school this morning. As you head through this afternoon, mostly sunny, 75 degrees at lunchtime. Expect a high of 81, so slightly cooler than where we should be, but oh so pleasant. Tomorrow, really a repeat performance of this, mostly sunny and 79. Partly cloudy on Thursday, an isolated shower late in the day with the passage of a cold front that will usher in even cooler air for the weekend ahead. Don?
All right, Alexander, thank you, and thank you for watching. More news, traffic, and weather coming your way at 8:56. We'll see you then.
Why do the 4 giant bell phone monopolies want toes and dingles so badly? How about this? Section 4A states, neither the FCC nor any state shall have authority to regulate the rates, charges, terms, or conditions for any high-speed data service. Toes and Dingle will turn the 4 bell giants loose on America and then prohibit the FCC and all 50 states from protecting us. So, this is why our parents told us to read the fine print.
Relax. Just listen to my voice.
On September 28th,
Look in my eyes.
on this quiet street, a stranger will arrive and pass his power to another. From the author of The Green Mile
Find the Queen of Hearts.
and the director of Shine,
Tell me what you see.
This one here.
Anthony Hopkins.
Hearts in Atlantis. Rated PG-13. Sneak preview September 15th. Starts September 28th.
Joan Rivers and Camet Band on the next Live.
Good morning, America. I'm Diane Sawyer.
And I'm Charles Gibson. Partners in crime, we are right here in our usual post.
Partners in crime. Well, coming up, what are men really thinking? Can we find out from a new show about to
Only
debut
2
on
hours.
television?
The show is only 2 hours. You can't find out what men are thinking.
Oh, I think we got plenty of time before commercial. No. Anyway, Mike Binder has put together a new show, and he hates this, but people do say The Mind of the Married Man, which is its name, is a kind of, well, it's at least a response to Sex in the City, and we're going to find out exactly what he thinks coming up.
Listen, you do a whole show on, hey, what do you think of them Knicks? Is Jordan coming back? Huh? Hey, did you see the Giant Bronco game last night? Huh?
Got any beers?
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Well, that's it. Can you make a half-hour television show out of that? We'll find out. Also, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, is here to tell us how she's going to help 300,000 people in Wisconsin this coming weekend.
And
all at once, she's going to do that. That's a prodigious task. We'll find out.
That's just for beginners. She can do that before breakfast. Well, we're going to talk about something that is new for your pets. There is a report out that the average life expectancy, as we know, for a cat or a dog is between 10 and 15 years, but that there's a new scientific breakthrough which could give your pet a longer life. And Dr. Carol Hurley, a veterinarian with the Waltham Center for Pet Nutrition in England, has developed what they're calling a kind of superfood. It's an additive, and she's with us this morning from our London bureau. So this is antioxidants, Dr. Hurley, which do what?
Yes, good morning. It's a unique blend of antioxidants that, when added together, they work in combination to help protect the cells at the level of the DNA. So they help to prevent damage to DNA in the cells.
We know that humans can take antioxidant supplements themselves, but you're saying you're actually able to measure the amount of DNA repair or lack of damage?
That's right. We already know that the DNA that exists in every cell is damaged up to 10,000 times a day by what's called free radicals. And this is a normal process. It happens from exposure to sunlight, to pollution, from stress, from routine exercise.
But so what are the implications of DNA in longevity? In other words, if what you're able to measure in longevity, how long can these pets live?
Right. Well, as DNA damage starts to accumulate, we start to see age-related diseases such as arthritis, cancers, cataracts, all the sorts of things that we see in people with aging, our pets can get as well. And so what we've seen is, by being able to test the amount of damage in cells, we've adapted a test from the human field at the Waltham Center. And we've been able to combine these ingredients fed to pets and found that in dogs fed this food for 2 months, there's a 26% decrease in the amount of damage to their DNA.
But you don't know exactly what that
So
means in terms of years achieved, extra years.
Well, yeah, not yet, and that's what we're doing, is following these animals along. The idea is that, for instance, it takes only one cell to be damaged to start the process of a cancer or start the process of an age-related disease. And so what we're looking for is that these animals have the best potential for their lifespan.
All right,
so
well,
they
everybody's
have a slower aging process.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Everybody's going to be following this, of course, not only for animals, but for humans as well coming up. And thanks for telling us about it. I gather it'll be available in about a year. So we'll let everybody out there know. But let's get the weather. Tony Perkins is here.
All right, thank you, Diane. Before we get to the weather, every day our producers survey the crowd to find out interesting things, interesting stories, and we have learned a couple of things this morning. In fact, we're starting a new feature. First of all, we've noticed that for some reason, several people in our audience have worn various shades of purple. Just by coincidence, did you all call each other and plan this?
No.
No. And even Eddie, come here, is on our crew. He's wearing purple as well. And Jeremy is also wearing a shade of purple. Very odd. I'm not sure why that is. All right, get out of here. Now, the other thing that we've noticed, and we're very excited about this, almost everyone in our audience is the same height. Can you pan around? Isn't that, except for just a few people. You will have to leave. I'm sorry. And this gentleman on the end, sir, with the glasses, you'll have to leave. I'm sorry, you can't be a part of the crowd today. All right, now that looks better. I'm happy. Take a look at what's happening with weather conditions around the nation. We start with the high temperatures for today. It is going to be a warm one in the south, but these temperatures are pretty much seasonable for most of the nation. 70s in the upper Midwest. We'll see some 80s throughout much of the U.S. Desert Southwest, of course, over 100 degrees again. Take a look at the highlights for today. New York City, beautiful day here. 80 degrees today. St. Louis, 83. Albuquerque, you're looking at 87. San Diego, a pleasant 74. Where will we see rain? We'll see some scattered showers in portions of the west. Most of the west will be dry. Look for possible flooding in southern Texas, central and southern Florida, where the rain will be heavy. That's a look at what's happening with the weather around the nation. Now, here's what's happening in your neighborhood.
Good morning. Certainly no rain here. Nothing but dry skies. Next chance for rain not even until Thursday afternoon with a slight chance of a shower. Today and tomorrow mostly sunny, highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. Thursday could see a slight chance of a shower and then smooth sailing once again.
You have to leave, too. You're a little too tall. Thank you very much. This weather report brought to you by Walmart. If you'd like to be in our studio audience, you have to be 5'8" and just send an email to abcnews.com. Diane, back to you.
Okay, Tony. Well, an ad for the new HBO series, The Mind of the Married Man, says, in marriage, no one can hear you scream. Why am I laughing? Yeah, right. But what would it be like if we could hear inside the man who was married? Thoughts, everything from infidelity to a lot of other things that we can't talk about on morning television. Well, the new series is called, despite what he wants it to be, the male version of Sex and the City. And to hear more about what goes on in the mind of its creator and star, we're joined by Mike Binder, and it's good to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here. And I actually don't mind. I think Sex and the City is a great show. So you know, I don't mind. It's just the show. It's such an easy handle to say. It's you know, a male version of Sex and the City. But.
Okay. Where do you start when you say, I'm going to do a series about the mind of a married man? What's the first thing you start doing? Jotting down your own thoughts?
I start preparing for my wife to move out is what that's the first thing. No. Actually, she likes the show. My wife is, but I think the idea was to do a show that tries to capture how men talk when their wives aren't around. And you know, one of the things they talk about the most is sex. So that's really what people have caught on to what we're doing, you know. But I think that there's a lot of things that people talk about, and
what are the principal differences in the way men talk about sex and women do?
I think that men are a little more two-faced about it.
How do you mean?
They talk one way with their friends, and then with their wives, they're a completely different person. And I think that's the truth, and I think that women kind of know that and are more comfortable with it. I really, one thing I think doing this show, you kind of learn that women don't want to hear everything. They kind of assume that we're messed up, that we're a little screwed up. And it's like, just go talk to your friends about that, please.
All right, we have a clip from the show, and it just gives you a little sense of something when, well, he's talking about something his wife found.
I found a file open, one I never leave up.
Dad, I found porn on your computer.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like pornography?
Yes.
What kind?
What does it matter what kind? There's pictures of naked women, Doug. Naked, not my wife women. What does it matter what kind?
She hadn't said anything yet?
Not Donna. She'll gather her facts first. Find the site I downloaded it from. Trace the credit card bill.
That wasn't me, by the way. One of the writers came up with that whole storyline. I have purely work of research on my computer.
Right. You've heard about such things, I'm
Absolutely.
Sure. Do men talk as much about their appearances or ever about their appearances?
I don't think so. Not in my experience. Some men do. You know?
Do men talk about relationships at all, or do they save that for home?
Yeah, no. They talk about relationships. They do. They talk about their relationships a lot with each other, more than at least the men that I hang out with. You know, you don't know. There's so many men out there. I think there's a good 1,500 of them at last count. But the ones that I know, the 1,400 that I know, seem to talk about, you know, relationships in terms of what isn't working more than what's working.
In all your research for this, what did you learn about the mind of a married man that you didn't know?
What I think is interesting and where the show's point of view is men want to be married. Men like to be married. They like to complain about it. But if you see a guy who's married get divorced, you know what he does? He runs out and he gets married again. Men like to be married, and single men dream of finding the right person to be married. They're not single because they want to be single. They always think one day they're going to get married. Men like to be married, and that's the point of view of the show.
And very funny.
Thank you.
It's what I've heard. The word around the shop here is that it's truly funny, and it's called The Mind of the Married Man, and it premieres, you should know, on HBO. When does it premiere?
Tonight. There's a sneak preview tonight, and then Sunday night it starts airing after Band of Brothers.
All right. Coming up, men get their revenge. And we'll be right back.
ABC 7 is on your side
by making your mornings easier.
And it starts here with our Good Morning Washington promise. From the time you wake up to the time you walk out your door.
You'll get your full weather and traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 7s.
And in between, the latest news from overnight. What happened while you slept?
It's our promise to you.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 7s.
Plus the news from overnight.
It's the Good Morning Washington promise, and it's only on ABC 7. Proud to be on your side.
Behind in the polls, Mark Early's launched false attacks on Mark Warner. The press says Early's taken the low road. His attacks are absurd, repulsive, ugly. Early's claims about Mark Warner are dead wrong. Fabrication, a smear. They insult voters. It's typical old-style politics. Mark Early, no positive plan. Negative ads that don't tell the truth. Virginia deserves better.
Vehicle history report, extensive.
When it comes to buying a used car, do you really know what you're getting? Toyota does, because beyond getting legendary Toyota quality, dependability, and reliability, there's a few other important things you get too.
Like 6.9% APR financing up to 60 months on all certified used Camrys, Solaras, and Corollas. Toyota certified used vehicles. We're good on our words. Available exclusively at your Toyota certified used vehicle dealer.
CarMax.com has a great selection of used cars online. We carry nearly every make and model. Find a car from any of the thousands we sell nationwide and have it transferred to the store nearest you. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
You asked for used cars you can depend on, so we created CarMax, where every used car comes with a 30-day limited warranty and a 5-day money-back guarantee. We even offer extended warranties that protect you for up to 100,000 miles. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
ABC next Tuesday. The season starts here. Dharma and Greg, the episode you've been waiting for.
Dharma, I'm so sorry.
Spin City, the moment you thought would never happen.
I'm back.
And from the creator of NYPD Blue, Tom Everett Scott and Emmy Award winner Kim Delaney.
You want to play hardball with me, I will break your skull.
You already tried that once.
Philly. Dharma and Greg, Spin City, and the series premiere of Philly. ABC next Tuesday. The season starts here.
Sarah, the Duchess of York, is with us. It's always nice to have her back. No stranger to overcoming obstacles in her life, as you probably know, from weight problems to the emotional problems of her darkest days following her divorce from Prince Andrew. This week, she's off to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where, in what is believed to be the first challenge of its kind, she's going to help residents of an entire county overcome their obstacles to losing weight. And she joins us now. Off to Waukesha County in Wisconsin, you are.
Morning, Charlie.
A third of the people there supposedly overweight. That's about 300,000 people, I guess, in rough terms. Each of them takes off 10 pounds. That's 3 million pounds you're going to help people lose.
Well, I think it's all about support, isn't it? It is a thought, isn't it? But it is about support, and Weight Watchers is really about helping people through group settings. And if you think about it, £3 million, and it's all about people talking and going down to the local library or wherever they sign up, but it's about a joint group getting together saying, yes, we're going to make a difference.
That's not only a whole football team, that's the whole National Football League or the English Soccer League or whatever.
Or
that
something
you're
like that.
Losing in weight. But how do you do that? I mean, do you cajole them? Do you scold them? Do you plead with them? Do you lecture with them? What do you do?
I think it's about education on what are the side effects of being overweight and what disease, diabetes or what other diseases stem from being obese or being overweight. I mean, it's not just about health and fitness and nutrition, it's about the whole package. The heart problems that stem from it, and various other things.
And emotional problems.
And emotional problems. Well, emotional problems, that was my problem. I ate to compensate for my feelings.
Right.
And a lot of people think, no, I'm fine, I'm all right, and then they go and eat 5 cookies, you know. It's the thing of why do you not want to look at your own problems?
You wrote very frankly in Rosie's magazine about depression, about the fact that you were really down at one point. And is that equated in your mind, eating and depression and tough times?
No question about it. In my case, when I had managed to make a complete nonsense of my life, whether it be financial, whether I'd gone through a divorce, I just thought I was worthless. And so what I did was I got very sad and very down, and I ate and ate and ate and got larger and larger and larger and then beat myself up even more, and it's that vicious circle. And you never think you can get off the carousel ride, but you just can, you know. You can with support, and that's what really we're saying in Waukesha County.
That's a great phrase, making a nonsense of my life. I mean, it's a wonderfully light phrase, and yet it really bespeaks of a very tough. I mean, it's a light phrase connected to very tough times that you were going through.
Well, it's just, you know, to publicly self-humiliate yourself is something.
Did you feel that way, really?
Something quite huge to do, isn't it?
Did you really feel that way?
Oh, absolutely. It was
really?
rock bottom, yeah, rock bottom.
And the weight loss then brought back the self-esteem and was a critical way to reverse that?
No, taking charge of my life, taking charge of my finances, taking charge of the way I was going to go forward, and actually getting forward and not sitting in a corner shaking was kind of an achievement.
So, and weight was just one aspect of
weight
that.
Wasn't weight? Well, no, weight was the symptom of how bad I was feeling.
Right.
And so so everyone could see I was getting larger. There must be some problem, you know. And the thing is I then dealt with all my issues, and in dealing with it, I'm sitting here today with a little more confidence.
Yeah, and you're going to do that all for an entire county of people in Waukesha.
Well, we can have a go, can't we?
Let me ask you about something that got a lot of publicity in this country, and I'm sure in England. And I know you're very uncomfortable with questions about the royal family, but it was so publicized in this country. A journal, The Spectator in London, which is thought to have very close ties to Buckingham Palace, said that after the celebration of the Queen's 50th year in the throne in 2002, that she will go ahead and give her approval to a marriage between Prince Charles and Camilla. Your reaction to that article?
I think it's rather wonderful that they were obviously in the room when all this was being discussed.
Doesn't the family, though, sometimes use journals to get out just float a trial balloon, in effect?
Well, the great thing is I don't do that. So whether they do it or not, I have no idea. And it would be very incorrect of me to make a judgment on that. But I always love it when they do front pages and they say, this is what's going to happen, and this is, you know, who's going to do this. But I'd love to know if they're actually sitting in the bedroom or the room or the sitting room.
Oh, I doubt they're in the room, but
discussed.
maybe they get a call from somebody who knows what's going on at the palace.
But isn't in America and in politics, isn't spinning? What is spinning, Charlie?
Well, spinning is getting out your point of view, trying to put your interpretation on something.
So do you think there is a lot of spinning done in politics and various other places?
Sure.
Well,
sure. But do you think this one is spun correctly? On that note, we will thank you for being here. It's good to have you here as always.
Charlie.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
It is now 48 minutes after 8. More from Fashion Week in just a moment. Stay with us.
Trust in me in all you do. Have the faith I have in you. Love will see us through if only you trust in me. Trust me now.
With Weight Watchers, every food has a points value.
And now every point works harder than ever. Introducing Winning Points, the way to stay satisfied. Eat what you like and still stay within your daily points range. So you stick with it and lose.
Now, take it off and show it off. Enter Weight Watchers Take It Off, Show It Off sweepstakes. Win a fabulous new $10,000 wardrobe.
Now's the time to join Weight Watchers. For pricing and location information, call 301-770-4115.
Looking for home furnishing of exceptional value and quality? Then come to Galahans and see a wide selection of the area's finest furniture, all at 30 to 50% off every day. Discover the unique shopping experience of Galahans. And right now, receive up to $1,000 back on Century Savoy. From traditional to transitional, Galahans is your complete home furnishing destination. Take I-95 south to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Come for the selection, buy for the discounts.
Morning. How'd you sleep?
Good.
I slept great. Must be that fresh mountain air, you know? Nothing like it. Oh, man.
Introducing the Jetta wagon, with room for 70 cubic feet of anything.
Ah, the great outdoors.
If a football hero accused of murder is news for months, if every Capitol Hill scandal merits weeks of coverage, how much attention do 2.5 million dead merit? It's a story we should have brought you long ago. This week on Nightline, we'd like to make up for that by finally telling you about the beauty and the tragedy of Congo. 3 years, 2.5 million dead. We thought you should know.